Me, that individual, that I, that self, whatever you like to call it, grows up with lots of other me's and I's and becomes convinced that it is real. And so the story of me arises and grows and develops. And the story of me includes a sense that me is real, I'm a real person, I have free will, that free will is mine, I'm on a journey, I was born, I will live and I will die. The whole thing for me is real because me can only exist in an artificial reality which is a subject-object reality. An experience of being a subject surrounded by objects. So I am something here and everything else that's happening is something out there that's separate from this. I call it the story of me, but you could call it the dreamer on the dream bus. Who's driving the dream bus? Well, the answer to who's driving the dream bus, the dreamer, the driver, thinks it knows the answer because it thinks it's driving a dream bus. It started driving it at an early age, and now it's driving it a bit quicker, and it's on a journey to somewhere. It's going to somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I don't know where that is, but I'm going somewhere. Sometimes it gets to a bus stop, but it doesn't stop because the bus stop says, what's next? Because me can only exist and live in what's next. It lives in an artificial reality in which it feels it is real, and it feels that time is real, and it's on a journey going somewhere. It's always on a journey into what will be, and can't possibly recognize what is. The experience of being me is dissatisfying. Basically, that may not be recognized by lots of me's, but for some me's who are sensitive, there's a feeling of dissatisfaction. And where that comes from is living in a subject-object reality, because the me experiences everything through a separate veil. Everything is separate. So the me never sees colour, hears sound, sees the sky, sees a tree as it is. It sees it and experiences it within itself as an object, as a separate object. So everything is experienced through a veil of separation. And that is dissatisfying. And for some people, they feel they lack something, they feel there's something missing, so they go to search for it. Seeking begins. They might go to a religion, a therapist, or they might go to something they've heard called enlightenment. Enlightenment sounds as though it could be the answer to what I lack. But what they carry with them in this artificial reality, let's remember, is that they are a subject, and there's what they're looking for is an object called, let's call it self-fulfillment. And they've grown up believing that they have free will and choice, and they've grown up believing that they can influence their story. And so, if they feel that they want to become enlightened, because they have managed to do some things through free will and choice, and they also believe they can become enlightened through their own effort. And the whole sense that me can make an effort or go through a list of functions in order to find something called enlightenment is totally and utterly ludicrous. It's absolutely futile. Because the whole sense of being separate is an energy. It's not a thought or a belief or an idea. Separation isn't something that comes out of I thought or anything like a belief. Separation is essentially an energy. It's energy, as we said before, all there is energy, and energy can become contracted. So there isn't someone who's separate, there is simply wholeness appearing as a separate person, which is a contracted energy. It's a feeling in the whole body of being contracted. So what can happen is that sense of energy, that sense of contraction, which is a tight feeling, can simply melt back into the whole of the boundless energy, which is all there is. so we can share ideas together and concepts together. But basically, the most freeing, the most liberating thing that's happening in these meetings is beyond words. It's pointing to something which can't be described. This can't be described. What we long for can't be described. What we long for is constantly all there is. What we long for remains hidden from the seeker by already being everything.
This message is actually not about you. It's not about you learning anything. It's not about becoming something. The message doesn't come from any sort of recognition that there's a need for anything to happen. The recognition is that intrinsically this appearance has no need. Need arises, I understand that, to eat and whatever else, and walk and move. But it has no intrinsic need. Nor does it have any intrinsic lack. So it's not, there's actually nothing missing in the appearance. Whatever's happening is it. It's not a demand. So the message has no demand, nor does the appearance have any intrinsic demand in what's happening. So if that's true, what is this? If it has no demand and no expectation and no intrinsic need, well, it's free. It's freedom, but like already. Whatever's happening, that's freedom. It's not a freedom for you, because of course the message isn't about you, nor is the whole appearance actually. But it's an unconditional freedom. Whatever's happening is exactly that, freedom. And because there's no intrinsic need or expectation or demand of the appearance, it's already unconditionally love. It's already complete. It's not becoming complete. It's not trying to become anything. This appearance actually isn't trying to become anything. It is already. Now that's not a suggestion. of something to do or not to do. It's just that whatever happens is simply what's happening. And if there's an experience that comes out of a lack or a need or a demand, then that's an illusion. That's the message. That's an illusion. The illusion is that the appearance isn't complete, that this isn't free, that there is something that needs to happen, and it's up to me to do it. What we're talking about here is that experience is illusory. So, in the illusion, in the sense that when or if it stops happening, it doesn't actually stop as an activity that was happening that ends. It's recognized that it never was happening. The experience that there's some sort of demand or lack in the appearance was completely illusory. That the experience that was happening was real and happening to me, completely illusory. That there's something that I am in control, that I have a life of meaning and purpose that needs to become to find happiness is completely illusory. Illusory in the sense that it's not happening. It's like not happening now. I understand there might be that experience out there going, well, it is. It's happening to me. And the suggestion is, yeah, I understand that, and it's an illusion. So there's no way to get something that's really not happening to stop happening. So the end of the individual, the end of that need, isn't the satisfaction of all the expectations of the individual. So this is a dissatisfying message as well. It doesn't give you what you're looking for. It's not trying to either. All the expectations and all the questions about what this is about, what I need to do, who am I, what's the meaning and purpose of my life, that seem to demand answers, they all disappear when the questioner disappears. There was never a real need to have any answers. there isn't actually a real question to this. That just comes out of the illusory experience of something needing to happen or separation. It's already over. It's beginning and over simultaneously. Now, that's it. Now is a little misleading because there isn't anything else, but this is that, the beginning and end of everything. It's not coming from anywhere. So anything you think of when I say that about the past, this is where I came from, I walked down the stairs to get to this room, that's this. That's the beginning endlessness appearing as a memory of the past. No evidence that anything else has ever happened, because nothing ever really does. It seems to, but not really.
No amount of spiritual busy work in working on yourself is going to get you to an imagined destination called freedom. Because the very act and belief of working on ourselves to get to wholeness or to get to heaven means you're not it. Means this isn't it. How could this be a manifestation of perfection? That's what we tell ourselves. Or that's what the energy in the body of seeking would like to tell itself, that this isn't it, that something's missing. I've got to create perfection. You are perfection. Everything that's appearing is perfection. The pain in the body, the joy, the sadness, all of it is a manifestation of the absolute perfection. There is only this energy, this freedom, this light that appears as all of these different expressions. So separation doesn't exist except for in the dream state, except for when we are fractaled off in personal identity. Personal identity is the root cause of all suffering. All suffering stems from the contracted energy of I am a real person in time with real problems, and I'm here to make change, and I've got to control my reality, because without me, who's going to do it?
Feel something's all right.
This isn't about a separate self. This isn't about you. You don't wake yourself up. And like I've shared in other videos, it's kind of like when the apple's ready on the tree, it plucks, it falls to the ground, right? It's over, it's done. So I'm not suggesting not to work on yourself or not go to therapy or not meditate or not do anything. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm not here to change your experience. I'm just saying there's no you. I'm just saying there is no separate self. But if there is a observer in here that's conditioned, it's going to puke its conditioning onto this neutral, meaningless appearance. Because worlds are personal. Very personal. This isn't an impersonal message. There's actually no world. Me and world are one. And so when the me is there, a world is there. When the me is gone, there is no world. There's just this. Immediately, this. Immediately, in your face. This is totality. This is the beloved. The separate sense of self, there's a relaxation, an easygoingness to it. There's a lightness. Nothing is serious. It's all seen through. So now let's play, you could say. And I know this can bring up all kinds of things because we're taught that individuality is so important, to succeed is so important, to become is so important, but nothing is important. Nothing is, not even this video, not even these words, nothing is. That's the freedom. Because the me lives in such seriousness. I've got to figure this out. It's a neurosis. The me is a complete neurosis. Fight or flight. But everything is in plain sight. Everything is waving at you, going, hey, hi, this is it. You're home. But if there is that illusory centerpiece still appearing, we go, no, can't do this.